Hey my beautiful Taurus peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Am from CancerMoonsTarot and welcome in here to your year of 2024. I hope you guys are excited for this brand new year. This is going to be your 2024 yearly tarot reading, okay? Do want to mention as always before we start, if you are interested in a personal reading, check out my website. You can go ahead and visit it if you wish to book me there. Without a further ado though, here Team Taurus, let's get on into it. And we're going to start out here first with your three main themes of this year. So let's go ahead and get on into it, okay? What information do we got coming on in here for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout the year of 2024? What are going to be their three main themes coming on into this brand new year? Let's go ahead and give it a check out, guys, and see what's showing up. Starting out here with the first theme for 2024, what do we have? And we have here the Master card. I love this one, right? As you can see, we have this heart over here that's kind of being mastered, if you will. So it usually, to me, is about mastering your heart chakra. Having a look here at the next theme for 2024, we have here dreams coming true. I love it, Taurus. And taking a look here at one more theme for you, jumping into 2024, what do we have? And we have here the solar plexus chakra. This is a chef's kiss kind of moment. Really loving this energy for you. It's looking pretty fantastic. So with all these themes, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the tarot out and we're going to expand and get these expansion cards on each and every theme. So let's go ahead here, Team Taurus, and get started. Let's start out with the Master card coming in first. What information and expansion cards do we have for this Master card and Master theme? Jumping on into 2024 for the zodiac sign of Taurus. Now we have here a Devil card coming out, followed up here with a Three of Pentacles. Lovely. We also have here a Page of Swords, followed up here with a Death card. And lastly, we have here a Knight of Wands, followed up here with a Six of Cups coming into play here for you as well. Now, I previously mentioned to you with the theme of Master coming out, typically when I see this card, it's representative of mastering your heart, mastering your emotions and feelings, and putting yourself almost into like a King of Cups kind of energy where you have found yourself to be very emotionally comfortable, very emotionally secure. So I think one of the big things that many of you are going to experience this year is being in a space of emotional security, really figuring out how to not let the best, to not let things get the best of you, if you will, really figuring out how to be as prepared as possible to deal with any kind of emotional situation. The Devil card showing up here, if there's a problem, if there's something toxic, if I feel stuck, I have a solution, says the Three of Pentacles. So you're finding the solutions here to your problems. You're not reinforcing your problems, right? And the issue is a lot of people at the end of the day, more often than not, they'll see themselves stuck in a problem, but they'll remain stuck because all they do is reinforce the problem over and over and over again, but yet they're never going out there and branching out and finding themselves a solution. So coming into 2024 for you, this is the year of solutions. If there's a problem, I'm going to go ahead and fix it, right? Having a look here at the next two cards we see for the expansion cards, we have here the Page of Swords and we have here the Death card. Page of Swords is typically the energy of hesitancy. So when one person is hesitant, it's usually the inability to take action. However, though, the Death card here says we're changing that. This is going to be a year of action. I'm done letting life pass me by, and I'm done letting problems continue to stack upon me. At the end of the day, I have to make sure that I check myself emotionally, put myself into a space where I'm clear-headed, I'm grounded, and I attack and attack and attack. When it comes to problems, I'm out here fighting and finding solutions. This is a very wonderful energy, and you're going to be very well structured, I feel, coming into 2024 when it comes to take on any sort of challenge. Now, we also have here a Knight of Cups and a Six of Cups. I think that your past is going to be a pretty good guide this year in the retrospect of how to find solutions too. So you can really take the time this year to reflect on your past, Taurus. And when you find yourself, for example, in a place of a challenge, use your past as a wonderful example. If there's things that you could have done better in the past, apply those better methods here today in the present for this year in 2024. I feel like you have a lot of insight for things you've gone through. Maybe you're a person, if you will, who's made a lot of mistakes. And by the way, just want to note, if you're a Taurus and it's like, yeah, and I've made a fuck ton of mistakes, I'm going to sit here and say something that maybe you won't think is great, but I'm going to say good for you. Because genuinely, mistakes are fantastic, whether you want to see it that way or not, because mistakes are something we can always learn from. right? If we don't learn from mistakes, then we're not taking anything away from it, but learning from mistakes creates experience, and experience creates knowledge. And with knowledge, you get to carry that forward, you know? So I'm loving the fact that maybe you did make a bunch of mistakes in the past, because going forward, you can apply all the right solutions for the foreseeable future. So yeah, really cool first theme to start out here with you guys. I like this a lot, you know? Major emotional security coming in for you this year in 2024. However, though, this emotional security and being cool, calm, and collected is exactly what's going to guide you from falling into the trap of negativity, right? If we have a problem, we're not sitting there sulking in that problem anymore. We're not sitting there allowing problems and challenges in life to overtake us. We are taking on the fucking challenges, and we're making sure that we're getting through them as best as possible. So really wonderful first theme, really wonderful expansion cards. Let's jump on into your next theme for the year of 2024, which is dreams coming true. And I just have to take the moment to show you how beautiful this card is. It's one of my favorite cards in this Oracle deck, but as you can see here, you literally have the universe at your disposal, right? You have the universe in the palm of your hands. So I feel that dreams are definitely very much so going to be accessible for you coming into 2024, so long as you recognize that you have the ability to create your dreams with your two hands right in front of you, okay? Let's go ahead and get some expansion cards here on this theme. What do we got here for the theme of dreams coming true for Taurus throughout the year of 2024? Let's take a look. We have here a Chariot, and we pair that Chariot here with a Five of Pentacles. We have here a Five of Cups. We pair that here with a Five of Swords. We have here a Two of Wands. We pair that here with a High Priestess. Cool. So Taurus, let's get into it. First and foremost, we have here the Chariot to the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is a card that's actually quite the opposite of your dreams coming true. It represents the energy of lack. I don't feel like anything's coming together. I don't feel like anything's flowing. I don't have this, so I can't do that. You know, it's the energy of just being in a major position of lack. However, though, the Chariot is a card that represents getting on the right track, getting on the right path, overcoming any sort of challenges. So what you're overcoming this year is the energy of lack. You're recognizing, if my dreams are going to come true, I have to recognize that I have the ability to create them. And in order to recognize that you can create anything, you have to recognize that you're abundant, right? Which is the opposite of lack. So Taurians, many of you are starting to come into a structure this year where you're realizing just how abundant you are. 9 times out of 10, one of the biggest reasons why people get stuck is because they find themselves trapped into the trap of lack, if you will, okay? Believing that they don't have all the tools they need in order to manifest the kind of life that they're looking forward to living. For example, maybe a person's like, well, I really want to make a lot of money, but I just don't have enough money. Well, at the end of the day, if you want to make money, don't focus on not having enough money. Focus on what you can do to make that money in the first place. A person who wants to create financial abundance shouldn't be focusing on how broke they are. They should be focusing on how much value can I add to people throughout daily life that ends up making money the byproduct, right? All money really is just a byproduct of good value, right? Why do you go out and buy a container? Because it has great value. It can store so much crap, okay? At the end of the day, super simple example, but super true. Why do you go out and buy a car? Because it can get you from point A to point B. Why do some people invest more money in cars, like luxury cars? You know, it's not always just a flex. Sometimes there's really amazing features that makes the drive so comfortable, right? So the more we can add value to people, the more the money can be a byproduct. So at the end of the day here so far, I like that with that Chariot here to the Five of Pentacles. Moving forward with the Dreams Coming True card, we have here the Five of Cups and we have here the Five of Swords. I think a lot of people don't recognize that right before there's a leveling up process, there's always a struggle, at least in my personal life. And I think in the lives of a lot of successful people, they have found that there was always some really hard struggle to overcome, a really hard challenge in life. But as soon as they overcame that, that's when the success started rolling in. And I think that Taurus, the challenges you've faced, it's not that there's challenges, or many, if you will, coming into 2024, but it's probably the previous years you've experienced, 2023, 22, 21, 20, and so on. I think you've dealt with quite a good fair share amount of struggles, but those struggles have done what for you? Well, they've gained you experience, they've gained you knowledge, they've gained you mistakes that you've learned from. They've gained you a position to realize that you want more for yourself than what you're currently dealing with. And I think that by going through these hard and difficult times, not only has it shown you to appreciate the good times, but it's shown you that you can change and make things happen for yourself, right? When people are going through a struggle, they often feel stuck, they feel trapped, but inevitably you get to a breaking point where it's like, well, if I'm at what I can consider rock bottom, I can only go up from here. And I think you're starting that year this way in 2024. Maybe 2023 was hard, and it might have felt like you potentially reached rock bottom. But the beautiful thing about rock bottom is that it can't get any worse. It can't go lower. You know, we can only go up from this point in time. So struggles in a way are beautiful because once you've reached kind of the final struggle, this is the time where we can attack our life and create abundance. We can create beautiful things from this situation. So I like that a lot here with that expansion card. And one more set of expansion cards following up with the dreams coming true theme is going to be the Two of Wands here to the High Priestess. When we want to make our dreams come true, we have to recognize that we have to either choose to do that or choose not to. I think a lot of people don't recognize their power of choice, but Taurus, this year you will. You will recognize that it's a choice to be happy. It's a choice to be abundant. It's a choice to be positive. It's a choice to be wealthy. It's a choice to be in a better place in life. But you have to be the person to choose that for yourself, and you have to be the person to do the work in order to get there. People who fall into the trap of being a victim will always live a life where life is happening to them and they are not having life be created from them. And this year, I feel that you're recognizing my dreams will come true when I choose to make them come to life. It's not necessarily going to be easy, but that's okay, because nothing that comes easy is of value, right? One of my favorite quotes that I haven't said in a while actually is, pick your hard. It can be incredibly hard to struggle with being in a very bad place financially. It can be hard to navigate that. But it also could be incredibly hard to be a person who's wealthy and maintain that cash flow. But at the end of the day, what's worse and more of a struggle? Not having money or having money and trying to make more of it? Probably not having money. So at the end of the day, you want to pick the kind of hard that you want to invest your time into, because nothing of value comes easy. And that's what I'm getting here from these two cards. And it's a very, very important statement. So if you want to make your dreams come true, you have the choice to do so. But just remember, sure, it might be a bit of work, it might be a grind, but nothing of value is ever going to come easy to you. Okay? Moving along here forward, Team Taurus, we're going to hop on into your last theme of the year, which is going to be your solar plexus chakra. Now, I want to discuss the solar plexus chakra a little bit, okay? This is the chakra that's kind of like right around where your belly is, if you will. It resonates with the color yellow, as you can see on the solar plexus chakra card. And the solar plexus can govern things such as how you view yourself, how you see yourself, your confidence level. It can guide, but it could represent and reflect like stomach issues, the digestion tract, however you want to say that. But this is a time and place with the solar plexus chakra where you need to really harness in on a better perception of self. If you can focus on having a good perception of self this year as a major theme, there is nothing you can't accomplish. A person who values themselves and sees their worth, a person who's confident in their capability, a person who has a good perception of self is going to be a successful person no matter what. Point blank, period. The individuals who are successful, they always have a great perception of themselves. They have confidence in their capability, and they don't have restricting or limiting beliefs. They have beliefs of empowerment that they can do anything they put their mind to. So this is going to be the year here to completely revamp how you see yourself, but also the energy in which you show up in the world. Okay? Let's go ahead and get our expansion cards here for this theme. What expansion cards do we got coming in here for Taurus regarding the solar plexus chakra theme? Let's go ahead and take a look. We have here the King of Pentacles, we have here the Sun, we have here the Eight of Wands, we have a Nine of Pentacles, and then lastly, we have a Hierophant, which is Taurus energy, and a King of Cups coming into play here for you too. Cool. So let's talk about it real quick. King of Pentacles here and the Sun card. King of Pentacles is a card that often is representative of security, okay? So this is the security within yourself, the security within your finances, the security within the life you're living. First and foremost, Taurus, I think you can expect here this year to be happy with your life. happy with the areas of your life, happy with your finances, and happy with your well-being and your family and your friends and your environment. So I think that that's definitely something you can expect here in terms of a theme. You're going to be pretty happy with the environmental that you are dealing with, or the environment that you're dealing with in general. There's a lot of environmental success. We also have here the 8 of Wands to the 9 of Pentacles. I think something you're going to take note about this year too is how much expansion there is in regards to your own personal confidence, in regards to your own capability. I think a lot of you this year are going to expand your knowledge, and that's going to in turn expand what you can do in this world. So you're going to be an avid learner this year. Maybe you're really expanding in your career field. So that can lead to possible higher positions and higher pay coming in for you with the more knowledge and expansion you're having in career. Maybe for other Taurians, you're adapting and learning to other skills or expanding your skill set so that that can help you out financially, but it also could help you out practically in the real world each and every single day. So we're going to see a lot of expansion showing up in terms of your capability this year, which is fucking amazing. So I love that a lot for you. Also, let's talk about this King of Cups coming in. King of Cups is representative of a person who's in a very emotionally secure place. Like I mentioned with the Master card that came out originally, you are going to be in a super great place emotionally this year. But with emotional security also comes a good amount of self-love. You know, it's a realization that I love myself. I'm going to commit to loving myself. I'm going to commit to being kind to myself. And when we are in spaces where we treat ourselves with love and kindness, our solar plexus loves it, okay? Our solar plexus loves when we are confident, but not arrogant. Our solar plexus loves when we are kind to each other. Our solar plexus loves when we are living our best lives and having our best perception of self. Our solar plexus loves when we are maintaining a positive attitude towards the world and other people. So we want to make sure we're in a good place here this year. We want to focus on solar plexus energy this year and making sure we're maintaining a fantastic balance, okay? However, though, like I mentioned with the King of Cups here, you also have here the Hierophant. Hierophant represents commitments and duties. You want to commit to yourself this year, right? Being the best version of yourself, loving yourself, valuing yourself, being kind to who you are, and in turn, reflecting how you treat yourself to the outer and external world. This year, if you treat yourself with tons of love and abundance, treat everybody else in kind, and you will see a massive expansion for you, okay? In how you feel, in the opportunities that come around you, and the abundance that you manifest and create, all right? All right, Team Taurus. You guys had some wonderful themes showing up this year, and I absolutely love it. Dreams coming true for you, I think, is probably one of the best ones we've seen, and it's very, very powerful and very, very positive, and it's very, very probable that you can make your dreams come true this year. It's all going to come down to you guys, though. Remember, having to make that choice and having to pick your heart, okay? On an emotional sense, emotional security looks fantastic and great. In terms of your solar plexus, you're just being called here to focus more on your confidence and your capabilities and, you know, how you treat yourself. That's very important here too. All right. But yeah, those are your 3 major themes. This was awesome. So we're going to get on into the next portion of your reading. And what we're going to be looking at here now, Taurus, is going to be your roses of the year. Just as a rose is a rose may also have its thorn, if you will. So we'll be looking into your rose of the year, which is positive no matter what. It represents the good stuff happening. Okay, and then we'll take a look at your thorn, which is maybe some of the things to watch out to avoid. It's kind of like the lows of the year. Okay, so the roses are the high of the year, the lows of the year are the thorns. So you got to look out. We'll be looking into both of those in kind. Okay, so let's get on in. Excuse me, I'm stuttering a lot today, so bear with me, guys. Let's get on into the roses of the year here for you, and we'll go ahead and get started right now. Okay, so what are going to be the roses of the year here for Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus zodiac throughout the year of 2024. Let's go ahead here and check it out. Let's see what your first rose is going to be. We have here the 4 of Pentacles, and we have here the Star. I love a Star card, man. Star card is Aquarius energy, but that doesn't necessarily have to resonate so much with you. But I feel with the 4 of Pentacles coming up here to the Star card, one of the biggest, most positive things about this year is just how you are so focused on staying on track. You're incredibly focused on staying on the path that feels righteous for you, that feels correct for you. You are making sure that you're following suit with where you want to go in your life and what genuinely feels good. So this is about following your instincts, okay? Could be in career, could definitely be in love, could be in your own personal path, it could be in your lifestyle, but you're paying close attention to what your higher self is asking of you this year. So if you've been getting a gut feeling to switch up what you're doing in work and career, maybe you're starting to listen to that feeling, right? And going towards what feels right. If you've been thinking about having a lifestyle change, maybe you've been feeling called to switch up your eating habits or switch up how you live your life. Maybe some of you are making some major changes. You're going from city life to suburbs, who knows? But whatever feels right, and you're following suit with that. So that's a really wonderful rose here. That's a really positive thing we're seeing, is that you're listening to what your body, your soul, and your spirit is asking of you in 2024. And by following suit with that, you are going to see abundance follow through as well. Okay? Moving along here forward though, let's go ahead and get some expansion cards on this rose, please. So what information do we have for Taurus about this rose? And to identify what this rose is, essentially, is that you're following through with what feels right this year. You're following your path, okay? Let's see. We have here the King of Swords. We have here the Devil. Absolutely. We have here the Judgment. We have here the Three of Swords. We have here the Wheel of Fortune. And we have here the Three of Pentacles coming out as well. So let's get on into your rose, guys. Looking into your expansion cards. King of Swords here and the Devil. King of Swords represents being in a very disciplined energy, realizing that there are going to be distractions that come in that can be harmful to you. So you will note that in your path and on your path in 2024, there are going to be some peeps that may try to come in and distract you. But I think one of the greatest things that you're showing up in is you're showing up in the King of Swords energy, which is discipline. So you're not easily distracted here in 2024, and that's powerful. It can be super easy sometimes for certain people that aren't at a certain level of security to be distracted. But you're on a different level here this year, Taurus. You're not getting distracted by negative people. You're not getting distracted by society. You're not getting distracted by the lizards, okay? The lizard people, whatever you want to call it at the end of the day, right? People who are pushing agendas. That ain't you. You are steady and focused on your path and on your dreams. Now, moving forward from that, we have here the Judgment to the Three of Swords. I think something as well that's incredibly powerful for you too, though, is that granted distractions may try to come in for you, there's something powerful this year about Taurians not holding a grudge, not holding on to any excess energy that isn't serving you. You know, a person who wishes to distract you may wish to trigger you. And when you're triggered, somebody is like, I gotcha. They were able to create an emotional response within you. But I just don't feel like people can do it so easily, Taurus. There's not much that can get to you, and I'm pretty sure I've touched base with you about this already when we looked into your major themes. There's not much that can get to you in the year of 2024. It really is a time where you're incredibly emotionally secure, you're steady, you're focused, you are disciplined, you are staying on your path, and if distractions try to come in the way and trigger you, you're remembering your power of choice. I can choose to resonate with some of the crappy things somebody's trying to say, or I can choose to realize that it's all bullshit, and I am the person who can validate myself instead. Right? Moving along here forward to this rose, we have here the Wheel of Fortune, and we have here the Three of Pentacles. What's wonderful about this expansion set following your rose is that you're in a period of time this year where there's nothing that's going to get in the way of you working towards your goals, your dreams, and your success. You are highly motivated in the year of 2024. You are highly disciplined to get the job done, and you are highly focused, meaning distractions cannot enter. So you are in a whole different mode. And I feel that by applying all these positive energies this year, it's going to help you create a lot of abundance. Okay, Taurus? So what a wonderful rose to see. Taurians are staying on the path no matter what. Nobody can get to them. Nobody can interfere. And nobody can also tell you what to do, as it's your life and you're going to make sure you're the person who's in the driver's seat. Okay? Moving along here forward, let's take a look here at your second rose for the year of 2024. What's going to be the second rose here for Taurus throughout the year of 2024? Let's go ahead and check it out. First card out is going to be the High Priestess. Looking at the following, we also have here the Two of Pentacles. Choosing to listen to intuition over everything else. As I've mentioned already with the first rose, I told you guys how you're following what feels right for you. Now, this is about leaning more towards into your intuition and listening to what your gut is telling you as well about situations, even when you may not always have all the right answers. It's listening to your spiritual side, your spiritual self, your higher self, your guides, the universe. It's listening to the calling. So one version of this rose is instinct. The second rose here is a knowing, a very deep knowing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some expansion on this. What information do we have here for Taurus in reference to their second rose? We have here the Five of Swords to the Ace of Pentacles. We have here the Six of Pentacles, followed up here with the Seven of Wands. And then looking at the last batch of expansion cards, we have here the Four of Swords paired here with the Nine of Wands. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, Team Taurus, like I mentioned, High Priestess is a time where it represents having a very deep inner knowing. But it also can be a card that's representative, too, of things that you haven't paid attention to. The unknown, right? It could be the occult, which means the unknown as well. So I think this year is a year for flow. I actually don't think this rose is representative so much about an inner knowing. I think we talked enough about that with the first rose. What I'm seeing here actually instead is about more so becoming a person of flow, recognizing that a flow state is okay. It's okay to not always have all the answers. It's okay to not always know where the future is taking you and where things are heading. And I feel like you're going to be in a wonderful and beautiful flow state this year. So this is a very positive set. Let's go ahead and talk about it, okay? Now, you start out here with the Five of Swords, and you have here the Ace of Pentacles. I think you're starting to realize in 2024, you used to be a person who was pretty frustrated if things didn't go according to plan. I think you're starting to have more trust and more faith, though, in the process. Ace of Pentacles is a card that represents opportunities, usually provided by the universe. And I think you're starting to realize, like, the universe has got me, dude. Why do I have to worry so much? Rejection is God's protection. Just because one thing didn't work out exactly as I thought it would, doesn't mean I should lose my faith in the fact that things are still going to work out for me at the end of the day. So seeing you guys really tap into the energy of the flow, recognizing that things can be a blessing or a blessing can come into my life at any moment, at any given time, is a wonderful thing to see, man. I feel like Taurians this year are recognizing that I don't have to worry too much always about my future. I just need to take life day by day. And that is so helpful too, by the way, guys, on your mental health. For those of you out there that suffer from anxiety, from those of you out there that suffer from depression, overthinking and worrying so much about the future can be one of the hardest things to get out of. But when you allow yourself to tap into flow, where you're just going with life, taking it day by day, doing what you love, enjoying yourself, and expressing gratitude for being involved in another day here on this beautiful planet, when we're in that lovely flow state, it allows us to be guided to wherever we need to go. We don't have to fear anymore about our futures. We have trust and faith in knowing that our future is bright. Okay? So I love that a lot for you. Looking at the second set of expansion cards, we have here a Six of Pentacles. We have here a Seven of Wands coming into play here for you too. Now, the Six of Pentacles is a card that represents balance, and the Seven of Wands here is a card that represents the ability to kind of push away what isn't so good for us. So I think you're recognizing, what are some things I need to cut out that reduce my flow state? What are some things I need to remove that constantly keep me in a space where I'm worried for the foreseeable future or in a state of fear? Now, this is realizing, okay, well, if I have fears and worries, it's time for me to focus on releasing those. If I have people around me who are constantly making me fear my foreseeable future, maybe these aren't the best people to associate with. If society's pressuring me to be worried, maybe I shouldn't watch the news as much. So in the year of 2024, this is the time where you're starting to say, I need to pay really close attention to just focusing on going with the flow. And I need to not allow anything that disrupts my flow state to be present and to be involved in my life. All right, having a look here at the final set of expansion cards, we have here the Four of Swords and we have here the Nine of Wands. Four of Swords represents taking a break. Nine of Wands here represents feeling very emotionally withdrawn, okay? If you want to be able to be in the flow state, you have to be willing to have yourself be out there as much as you can. When you are withdrawn, it's very difficult to get into flow. So you want to make sure that you are as open as possible to what the universe can provide to you, what the universe can give to you and grant you. When you're closed off, how could you receive a blessing? right? So you want to be open to opportunity at all cost, and you want to start getting in the habit and the mindset, Taurus, that opportunity exists around us each and every single day. Every day is a blessing. Every day there's a chance for an opportunity to manifest. Every day there is a chance for you to be blessed. Okay? But the more closed off we are to opportunity around us, and the more that we have a limited mindset, the more we're going to be living a limited life in 2024. So you want to make sure you're open. Let's say, for example, maybe there's a new job opportunity that comes your way. You know what? You could turn it down, or you can say, hey, why don't we see where this goes? Maybe somebody offers you to hang out with a person you've never met before. Why not say, hey, and go for it? Who knows? Maybe you meet the love of your life that exact day, right? So the point is that if we want to be able to be in a flow state, we also have to be in a receptive state as well. If we are closed off, how can we receive? So make sure you're open to opportunities. Make sure this year you're open to new experiences. Do something you've never done before. Hang out with somebody you've never met before. Give all these opportunities chances, as they can lead you into such beautiful and amazing spaces of your life you may have never thought you'd get to in the first place. Okay? So that was our second rose here for 2024. Really beautiful, really wonderful so far. Thoroughly enjoying this, Team Taurus. So as we discussed with the first rose, you guys are disciplined this year. You're staying on the right track. You're focusing on the future you wish and aim to create. For the second rose this year, High Priestess of the Two of Pentacles, you're trying to stay open and receptive. You're trying to stay in a flow state. You're trying to take life each and every single day and go with the flow of life, and not so much go with the worries of the future, or not so much be restricted to opportunity. This is about seeing that opportunity is all around us, and we need to be as receptive as possible, because anything can happen, and at any day and at any time we can be blessed with something amazing for our life in the foreseeable future. All right, now let's get on into your last and official rose. This will be your third rose for the year, and just to give you guys a bit of a refresh, what a rose is that it's the positive stuff for the year, the highs of the year in regards to things you'll be experiencing. So like I mentioned before, for these two roses, these are the highs, the good stuff that you'll be seeing here in a general perspective for 2024. Okay. All right, let's move forward. What's going to be the third rose coming in here for Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout the year of 2024. First card out is going to be here, the Eight of Pentacles. Looking at the next card, we have here the Death. We have here, following up with that for expansion cards, or actually, let's wait on expansion cards real quick. Let's go ahead and talk about this third rose, then we'll get expansion cards for it, okay? Third rose, Eight of Pentacles here to the Death card. Changing up the workflow. Recognizing that you don't have to always work so hard. Work smarter, not harder. Wow, I haven't heard that in a few years. Sorry about that, guys. I had to take a moment because there's somebody at one of my old jobs who used to say that very frequently. They used to say, work smarter, not harder. And I think I agree in that statement here. Work smarter, not harder, Taurus. Just because you're working doesn't mean necessarily you need to bust your butt to the point where you've exerted all your energy. I think one of the biggest roses of this year is the third rose we're seeing here, because it's about recognizing that we should enjoy life. Instead of always working to transform and to transcend and to be the best and the best and the best and the best, it's about taking a moment to breathe in life and realize just how hard we've worked have paid off. It's paid off indeed, but also we got to enjoy life too. So I think you've had enough of the grinding, huh? For almost a lot of the Taurians I know in my life, from 2020 to 2023, it was a grind year, guys. I've seen my Taurian peeps that I love and know just busting their butts religiously, trying to improve their lives as much as they can. And whilst you're going to definitely be improving your life in 2024, I think you're realizing that maybe I don't have to be putting all this time into transformation, and maybe I can now start to kind of enjoy the fruits of my labor a bit too. So yeah, it is a time for that, guys. And I think you're going to have plenty of time for this in 2024. So beautiful rose to see, because a lot of people are always about, I need to work, but then when the hell are you going to enjoy yourself? So please make sure this year you take these opportunities, because these opportunities are coming in. All right, now let's go ahead and get our expansion cards and see what's going on. So what expansion cards do we have here for this rose? Work smarter, not harder. Earn back your time is something I'm hearing as well with this rose too. So you'll be earning back your time in 2024. Maybe some of you guys are starting to recognize that I don't need to hustle anymore. Maybe you're landing a job where you get paid and you work a decent amount of hours and you have more time for your personal life. If you are a Taurus who's an entrepreneur, maybe you've been constantly hustling for a long time, but you're recognizing maybe this year, I need to focus more on my family, my friends. Maybe it's time for me to work less and love more and enjoy and live life more too. Okay, but let's take a look here at our first set of expansion cards. Yeah, you got here a Hierophant, you got here a Magician. This is going to be the year to show up, okay, in regards to the people that you feel devoted to. You know, your family, your friends, your romantic partners. This is going to be the year to put more of an investment into those peeps, you know? I know that with the Eight of Pentacles here to the Death card, I know that working hard and grinding and trying to be your best self or trying to improve your finances or trying to improve your life, I know that a lot of that is an awesome hustle, but it also can be very time consuming. And I think that this third rose this year says you're going to have a lot of opportunities to bring back balance in your life where you get to enjoy your life. You get to enjoy the money you've made. You get to enjoy the relationships you developed. You get to enjoy the things you've owned, like a house and something of that nature, right? So if you bought a house this year, you get to enjoy that. You know, this is the time this year where you get to take a little bit of a step back from working so hard and enjoy the fruits of your labor. And with the Magician here, and the Hierophant here, this is a time where you get to show up more to the people and to the situations you love, and you get to have a little bit more of that free time, which is genuinely beautiful. Like I mentioned for Taurians, I feel like for the past 3 years, y'all have been hustling, man, hustling. But you finally get to see how that pays off, which is really, really cool. All right, let's go ahead and move forward to the next set of expansion cards for Taurus. We have here, the Ten of Swords. We have here the Eight of Swords. And getting one more set of expansion cards, let's go ahead and see. We have here the Queen of Swords. We have here the Tower. Nice. So Taurus, let's talk about it real quick. Ten of Swords, Eight of Swords. I don't have to worry anymore is what many of you are going to start experiencing. You know, if you were a person who worked really long hours, maybe you were concerned about the well-being of your family and friends. Maybe you were concerned about the well-being of your partner, especially because you might have felt like in the past, maybe you never had time to see the people you love because you were always busy working. Maybe you were always focusing on becoming the better version of yourself that you feel like you missed out on a lot. But you finally have time again, Taurus. You get to end the worries about missing out on situations and the moments that life has to offer, because this is the year where you're reclaiming those moments. You are actively choosing to make sure that you clear your schedule and you make availability to enjoy the life you've created. We have here the Queen of Swords. We also have here the Tower. Queen of Swords and the Tower card here showing up says, I have no issue, removing myself from anything that is taking away from my ability this year to enjoy what I have, what I wish to experience, and I'm making sure that my time that is spent is indeed spent wisely. Now, this is a wonderful rose coming in, guys, and I think this is actually the most significant rose we're looking at here in 2024, okay? A lot of people don't remember that there is so much in life to enjoy. I think a lot of people are always so busy creating, working, and then they stop and kind of forget that they've built a lot in this lifetime, and they deserve to enjoy that too. And I mean everything: money, family, friends, love. We have so much that we need to spend a little more time with, and I think that you're realizing this year I really do need to prioritize my time, because I deserve to enjoy what I've created, and I definitely deserve to enjoy what I have. And by prioritizing the time that I have here this year, I'm going to make sure it's well spent on the people, the things, and the situations that I love. Taurus, very wonderful stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this portion of the reading. This is, like I said, your rose. It's the highs of the year with all the good stuff you're going to experience. And we're now going to be moving into the Thorn section shortly, which is some of the things you might want to watch out for. But this is all the good stuff coming in for you that you will experience this year. And I think that there's a lot of significant stuff here. So I hope you enjoyed it, okay? All right, Team Taurus. We'll be getting on into the Thorn section in a bit. All right, Taurus, we're now going to go ahead and get into your Thorn section of today's reading for your yearly reading. I do want to preface again what Thorns are. This is going to be more so the not so highs of the year, the lows of the year, things that we kind of want to watch out for coming into 2024. So without a further ado, let's get on into it, okay? We're going to start out here with your first Thorn. So what's going to be the first Thorn coming in here for Taurus throughout the year of 2024, please? This will be for Taurus Zodiac, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Honestly, any placement of Taurians, please. Let's take a look here and see what your first Thorn is going to be. Let's take a look. We have here the Four of Wands, and we're going to pair that Four of Wands here with a Chariot. So, looking at your first Thorn of the year, walking away from the things that are stable, walking away from the things that are currently working. I feel like you want to stay grounded, planted, and stuck, and you want to expand on the things that are doing really well for you in 2024. Try to watch out for getting distracted, guys, into new ideas or maybe rushing into things too quickly, because I do feel like that can be a possibility. For example, maybe a friend says, hey, have you heard about this new kind of business or this new kind of niche? You know, try not to read into things too fast or jump into things too fast is something I'm picking up on, because one of the lows of the year that I do see potentially are you guys hopping away from your stability and getting a little risky, diving head on into something new really, really fast without any sort of research. The research here feels very, very limited, and that could be a potential situation that can hurt you and harm you rather than help you. So really, really be mindful of this kind of energy. Let's go ahead and grab our expansion cards and see what we have here for you. So let's expand on this Thorn. What information do we have here to expand on this Thorn? We have here the Three of Swords, and we have here the Fool card. Yep. Fool card can be impulsive decisions, so you really want to watch out for making those impulsive decisions, especially if they lead you to a place where you end up being unhappy. This could be about rushing relationships, rushing any sort of financial decisions this year. You know, be really careful about that, especially financially. You might see something that sounds super good on paper, but always remember, if something does seem too good to be true, it can be too good to be true. So you really want to be a little bit extra mindful and practical with your approach to financial investments, and you want to be very practical too to romantic investments coming into the year of 2024. Having a look here at the next expansion, what other information do we have here for this Thorn? We have here the Six of Pentacles, and we follow up with that Six of Pentacles here to the Ten of Swords, and lastly we have here our Ten of Pentacles, and we follow that up here with the Nine of Pentacles showing up here too. So let's go ahead and talk about it, okay? Looking into your second set of expansion, Six of Pentacles to the Ten of Swords. If you're in a good space, capitalize on the good space that you're in. You want to be incredibly mindful of having minimal risk this year. I feel, once again, Taurus, if we get impulsive, if we tap into a very quick energy without a second thought or without really proper knowledge of what you're getting yourself into, you can find yourself in a situation that harms you rather than helps you. So really try to eliminate that. Do not try to tap into impulsive situations, because you can have your stable situation suddenly no longer be around if we're hopping from environment to environment. So you really want to make sure you're staying planted and grounded in your stability. Now, Ten of Pentacles showing up here to the Nine of Pentacles. If you already have an empire, you don't want to leave an empire just to go into a small village. Hopefully that makes sense with that analogy, but that's the truth. If you have an empire, aka if you have a wonderful relationship, you wouldn't want to leave that behind for a person you barely know. If you have a wonderful business, you don't want to necessarily restart and hash out and throw away that wonderful business to start from scratch. You want to capitalize on where there is stability, okay? Because once again, I just see a situation where you potentially could be walking away from that this year, and you might quickly get into something that might not turn out to be as good as it looks. So really be careful with this specific Thorn, okay? And it can be in anything along the lines of finances, along the lines of love. It could be anything as well along the lines of your personal life or the lifestyle that you're living. So really be very careful with this, okay? Moving on into your second Thorn for 2024. Let's have a look and see what's showing up. What is going to be the second Thorn coming in here for Taurus for the year of 2024? We have here the Ace of Pentacles. We also have here the Nine of Cups. Ace of Pentacles is an energy of opportunity. Nine of Cups here is an energy of self-fulfillment. So I'm pretty sure if I go back and mention the roses for a second. I know I mentioned with the roses, you want to enjoy yourself. I believe it was the last rose, if I'm not mistaken. I was telling you guys how you want to enjoy yourselves. You don't want to always work too hard. I said work smarter, not harder. You want to give yourself ample time and good time to enjoy your life this year, but you do want to be careful of overindulging, okay? Nine of Cups is very, very known for overindulgence, and Ace of Pentacles says if you see an opportunity to overindulge, whether that opportunity is, I see an opportunity to sleep in more, I see an opportunity to go out more, I see an opportunity to, do things that could be taking away from prioritization, that's where we want to be extra careful, because this year can be planted with a lot of seeds of having fun and kind of avoiding responsibility. So we want to really make sure that we're taking on a responsible set of priority and making sure that priority always comes first, and then we focus on everything else afterwards, okay? Because if we start getting into energies of overindulgence, we could be missing out on some really key responsibilities that we have to keep up with in our lives for this year of 2024. Now let's grab a set of expansion cards and see what's going on. For the first set of expansion here for Taurus, let's get that information and see what's showing up. All right. Ooh, we have that card fly on out. We have here a Three of Pentacles and we have here a Four of Swords. Yep. First things first, Three of Pentacles could represent the workplace. So really try to be careful about taking days off of work this year. Totally fine if you have like PTO, paid time off, or if you have vacation days scheduled, don't be afraid to take those. But be extra careful, because you could find yourself at some point this year where it's like, I just don't feel like showing up to work. I don't feel like going in. You may end up taking out more days or off more days than you should. This could be the energy as well, Team Taurus, where let's say, for example, you have to stay on top of your health and prioritize your health. Maybe you haven't been having much priority there. Maybe you've been focusing more on indulgence, and that can have a negative impact on you this year as well. So while you want to enjoy yourself wholeheartedly, because I do want you guys to enjoy yourself, we have to remember though, there has to be discipline. And this year in your rose section, I saw a lot of discipline coming into play for you. However, though, there could be a point in time where it feels more difficult. We feel more not so disciplined in our lives, and we can get to a point where overindulgence can become an issue, where impulsivity can become an issue. So these are the things to watch out for. And please do remember, these are not things guaranteed to happen in your year. These are things that can happen in your year if we don't avoid it. That's why we discuss it in the tarot. We see it in the beginning, we see it ahead of time, so we can avoid these situations and have a great year overall, okay? So please remember, you are not destined to be in these energies. We can avoid it 100% of the time. One of my favorite quotes of all time is that tarot is 100% avoidable. So if we see anything that we can avoid, we best avoid it, and we move forward into positive ass vibes, okay? So yeah, a couple things to really watch out for. Avoiding things like work, avoiding responsibilities. You really want to stay on top of that, especially in the realm of health as well. You want to stay on top of your health as much as possible. All right, going on into your second expansion set, we have here the Two of Cups. We have here the Seven of Cups. Miscommunication in relationships, distance, focusing more on yourself, maybe not on a partner, I can see becoming a little bit of an issue here, Taurus. For those of you that are focusing very heavily on career right now, there may be a potential that your partner needs you, your friends need you, your family needs you. So try not to get too tunnel visioned into one area of life, because I can see that being a possibility here for you in the year of 2024, and that can lead to a negative effect on relationships. Whether these relationships are romantic or not, people in your life are going to want your attention. They're going to want to be there with you. They're going to want to be invested in you, and they're going to want that same investment back. So you want to be sure to create balance here. Instead of overindulgence, we're looking for balance, because if you find yourself a little bit too invested in one thing and not kind of perfectly balancing out everything else, it can create a very negative impact on the relationships that you have in your life, okay? Now, looking at the last expansion set for you, we have here the Star, and we also have here the Strength card. Okay. Sometimes when we overindulge a little bit too much, it can distract us from our path. The Star card is the card about focusing on creating your dreams and making your dreams come true. That was an awesome theme we saw for you earlier, right? Dreams coming true. But I mentioned to you guys that you have to choose that for yourself. You know, the moment we start kind of getting off our path and getting off track and getting distracted is the moment where we're going to abandon the dream life we're trying to create and that's the last thing we want to do. That's the last thing we want to lay to rest. So Taurus, with this thorn coming up specifically, really watch out for getting caught in overindulgence. It can really mess with a lot of things in your life that you've worked so hard to maintain and that you should continue to prioritize and maintain throughout the rest of the year. If we start falling short on these situations, we can start missing out on the good stuff we've created and put it in a bit of a rough spot, whether it's about relationships, career and finances, your path, whatever the case may be. Okay, so that's definitely a very important thorn to focus on here too. Let's go ahead though and get on into your final thorn, Taurus, and we'll see what that's going to be for 2024. So what is the final thorn showing up here for Team Taurus for the year of 2024, please? Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We have here the Emperor paired here with the Nine of Wands. Okay, Emperor here to the Nine of Wands. This thorn would be representative of feeling like there isn't power within you. The Emperor is a very powerful card. It represents a very powerful person. They believe they're in control. They are the person who believes that they create abundance. But the Nine of Wands is a card of a person who's withdrawn, a person who feels lost, a person who feels stuck. So you really want to watch out here, Taurus, for other things taking away your power. You have to pay very close attention to what you're giving your power to in the year of 2024. Because the thorn here says you're giving away your power to something that's outside of yourself. The truth is you are the person who's powerful. You have to give power to yourself, but the moment you give it away to something outside of you, that is where you're going to be led astray. So I see this being a potential thorn for the year. We want to watch out for this for sure. Let's go ahead and get our expansion set and see what's going on. We'll see a couple examples of how this can happen for you. We have here the Ace of Wands, and we have here the Five of Wands as well. Something that looks pretty at first, but turns out to not be so pretty at the end of the day. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that to you with impulsiveness earlier. I said watch out for that. Something might look too good to be true, and sometimes it is too good to be true. So be really careful. Something can look shiny and beautiful, but on the inside, it could be really, really nasty and, rocky, right? So I feel like with that Ace of Wands here to the Five of Wands, pretty much same deal, same concept. Be really careful there, guys. Before you give away your power to something or someone, make sure that it is, or first of all, don't give away your power, but really recognize what you're getting into and what you're investing into, right? If you feel like something is creating negativity, if you feel like something is taking away your ability to judge and to gauge your life properly, if you feel like something is taking away your happiness, you got to look at these things and ask yourself, is it actually as pretty and beautiful as it shows up to be? Or is this a situation where I'm invested in something that is actually really nasty and not so good for me overall? So you really need to check your investments here. Is something taking away my power? If it is, I need to stop giving my investment into it in the first place, okay? Getting on into your next expansion set, Taurus, let's take a look. What do we got? We have here the Lovers, and we have here the Three of Cups. Yep, giving away your power in a setting of love. Okay, I don't think this would be representative for Taurians that have been in relationships, especially if you're a Taurus who's been in a relatively healthy relationship. I don't think this portion would resonate to you. But let's say you're a single Taurus and you get into a new connection with somebody. What are they asking of you? And are they demanding or are they asking? Because where you can start losing your power in relationships is when you are serving another person and it's not so much about one another adding value to each other. And I see that you could fall potentially into that trap this year. So be really careful in your dating life and your love life. Be really careful with controlling people, individuals that are trying to take away your power, people that are possessive, I see can show up here in love as well. So single Taurians, if you find yourself with people who are starting to become very possessive over you, very demanding and controlling, they may try to show on the outside world that the relationship the two of you have is amazing and abundant. However, though, it might not be so amazing and abundant behind those closed doors between you and this person. So please do watch out for that, because I can see an example of that showing up in love. And finally, looking at the last expansion set of cards for your final Thorn, Taurus, let's take a look. And what do we have here? We have here the Queen of Wands, and we have here the Eight of Cups. One of the easiest ways that you can give away your power is by not being confident and not believing in what you're choosing to do with your life. Letting other people tell you that what you're doing is wrong, letting other people tell you that you should be doing this or doing that, is the number one way where more often than not people lose their power. It's about feeding into the opinions of what other people have to say, or feeding into the validity that other people may provide or may not provide. So you want to be close, you want to be careful, Taurus, at this time, in understanding that the validity of what you choose to do and how you feel about something counts so much more than anybody else validating you, period. I want you to remember in 2024, you don't need permission to live your best life. You don't need validation if you're doing what's best for you, because you know what is best for you. And if you want to maintain in your power at all costs, you're going to focus on validating yourself and not getting validation from others. Because I see situations potentially where maybe somebody throws an opinion at you and they're like, hey, Taurus, I don't think what you're doing is that great. Or, hey, Taurus, maybe you should try doing this instead. Or, hey, Taurus, I don't really think that's cool or good. And maybe you feed into that opinion. And at the end of the day, the moment that happens, somebody else's perceptions now become your own. You want to make sure at every given moment in time here, Taurus, you are constantly focusing on what feels right for you, what feels valid for you, and don't let other people interfere. Granted, everybody has a right to an opinion, but it doesn't mean that their opinion is correct. You know what is correct for yourself. So please do remind yourself constantly throughout this entire year of 2024 that you know what is right for yourself, and make sure you continue to follow through with that instinct, okay? All right, though, Team Taurus, these are the thorns to watch out for, okay? Definitely do watch out for impulsiveness, jumping into something too quickly. Don't abandon your castle for a village, okay? If you have something amazing here, expand on that. Looking into the next part, indulgence. There can be a lot of temptation this year to tap into indulgence, and you don't want to overly do it, and you don't want to avoid your responsibilities and your prioritizations. So make sure you're keeping up with your responsibilities and prioritization. And lastly, please watch out for the final thorn, which is your power being taken from you. Right? Find power within yourself. Do not find it externally, and do not allow anything externally to rob that power from you. Okay? All right, Team Taurus. Let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward here from this portion of the reading. Those were your thorns, so we have covered your roses and your thorns. We are now going to get into the final section of your reading for the year of 2024, and that's going to be, what do you have to do to become your greatest version this year? So, Team Taurus, without further ado, let's get on into it and see what's showing up here at this time. All right? What does Taurus have to do here to become their greatest version in the year of 2024? What information do we got here for Team Taurus? What do they have to do to become their greatest version in the year of 2024? Let's take a look here, guys. First card out is going to be the Page of Cups. Following card here is going to be the Nine of Cups. We have here the Two of Pentacles. We have here the Eight of Cups. And we have here the Queen of Pentacles, followed up here with an Ace of Pentacles, okay? So with these 6 cards, let's narrow it down and see what we have to do here to be our greatest version. Now, first things first, we start out with the Page of Cups. Page of Cups is representative of the energy you're putting out into the world, okay? So if you want to be your greatest version, you have to start putting out energies into the world that a greatest version of you would do. So picture this in 2024, Taurus. What would be your best version? How would you be as a person? How would you treat yourself? How would you treat others? What kind of energy and mentality would you show up in every day? Would you be a positive person every day? Or would you be a negative person every day? I'm sure the best version of yourself would be positive every day, right? So what you are putting out into the world, you have to practice what it is you preach. So what you feel within yourself needs to be a reflection in your external world, okay? So if you want to be your greatest version, work on becoming your greatest version. However, though, what you are feeling within, you want to make sure you're pushing out too. So if you're positive and happy, you want to share that positivity and happiness with others, okay? Looking at the next card, we have here the Nine of Cups. If you want to be your greatest version, you have to focus on what brings in the most fulfillment. Point blank period, right? We want to avoid things that create unfulfillment. We want to not stick around in situations we're not happy with. We want to make sure at every given moment in time, if we see the opportunity to create change here with the Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, we're going to make sure we do that. So if anything has to shift, and if we have to switch around the type of life we're living, make those adaptations and don't hesitate to do so. All right. Now we also have here the Ace of Pentacles. If we want to become our greatest version, we have to remember that there isn't an opportunity window to change or transform. We have that opportunity window every day. So if you want to be the best version of you, you can start now. You don't have to wait till tomorrow. You don't have to wait for the perfect time slot. You don't have to wait until somebody tells you to. Remember, each and every single day we wake up, we get to choose who we want to be. And that's one of the most powerful statements I can tell anybody, because it's true. We get to choose who we want to be from the moment we decide to wake up. So if we don't want to be the same person we were yesterday, we can be whoever the hell we want to be today. So the truth is, Taurus, is that the opportunity to be your greatest version is around you all the time. But it's going to have to require sacrifice with the Eight of Cups. And that sacrifice is going to be walking away from maybe some of the versions of yourself you're not happiest with. Are there toxic sides of yourself that you can work on a little bit more? Are there negative habits that you can replace with positive ones? Are there negative circumstances and people that doesn't fit your greatest version that you picture inside your head? If so, let's start abandoning, or maybe abandoning isn't the greatest word. Let's start removing those types of situations. If we have bad habits, let's start reinforcing positive and better ones, and let's start doing the work there. Because remember, in order to become your greatest version, you also have to look at the version of yourself you're not the happiest with and see what needs to take change there in the first place, okay? And now lastly, to be your greatest version this year, Queen of Pentacles. This is the card about what do I need the most, right? Focusing on your needs, tending to yourself, nurturing yourself. This is the time, Taurus, where we have to look at what would be the change I've needed that lets me know I've become my best self. Is it the change in my attitude and how I view the world every day? Is it how I treat myself? Do I need more self-love? Is it understanding my value instead of measuring it to external things like money? Whatever it may be for you, Taurus, that's the number one priority to become your greatest version. That has to take precedent and be the biggest focus. Okay? So guys, with that all being said here for you, many different ways to become your greatest version. What I recommend for every Taurus, though, this year, if you want to be your best self, envision what that best self would look like. How would you show up in the world? What kind of person are you? Are you kind to others? Are you kind to yourself? What kind of clothes are you wearing being your best self? What kind of environment do you see yourself surrounded in? What kind of people do you hang out with? You know, what kind of activities do you do? Really imagine this version. And remember, if you want to become this person, you can, but you have to start embodying what that person is today. You have to embody that characteristics of that new version. Let's say, for example, the new version of yourself's a fucking optimist, but you feel like you're a pessimist. Then we have to start removing pessimism, and we have to start having more of an optimistic attitude. We have to embody those characteristics to merge and become that person today. But remember, to become your greatest version, it's a choice. And if you choose to be that version today, you can do it and not go back. You can be that version and choose it for yourself going forward, because you do have indeed that power of choice. All right, Team Taurus? So really wonderful energies coming in here. Really wonderful advice too. Definitely do take what applies, okay? And officially now, Taurus, we're going to close out this reading with an overall outcome for your year of 2024. So let's go ahead and get on into it, okay? What is going to be the overall outcome here, please, for Team Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus zodiacs throughout the year of 2024? What is their overall outcome for this year? And what do we have? The Magician. I love the Magician, baby. I love it. One of my favorite cards, man. Energy of alchemy, right? You can create whatever it is you desire. You can manifest whatever it is you desire. But remember that this year is all going to go to plan according on how you decide to show up. So your attitude, the way that you decide to show up in this world, the actions you decide to take is how this year is going to be molded, and it's how it's going to manifest for you. But the point is that as the Magician, you are the creator. So you can have this year any way you like it, you know? And that's the most beautiful part. There's a lot of freedom there. There's a lot of creativity there. There's a lot of imagination there to make this year however you want it to be. So get really creative with it, Taurus. You know, take everything into account that we discussed in this reading. Of course, we have things that we can expand on that are going to make our year even more wonderful. We have things that we are probably better off watching out for and maybe not investing into. But the point is that how you decide to look at this year and what you decide to show up in and how you decide to invest your energy into this year is exactly the kind of return you're going to get. So don't forget here, Taurus, you are the author of your story with this Magician card showing up. So take a look at what kind of story you'd like to write, create, and see panned out in this space and time here for the year of 2024. Okay? All right, Team Taurus. I love you guys so much. I know this was an incredibly long reading, so thank you guys if you've seen it all the way through. I appreciate your patience. There is a lot to cover in a year. It's a very jam-packed kind of reading, so I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you appreciate it. It is a lot of work to do these readings, but I think they're very fulfilling. So I hope that nonetheless you've enjoyed this, and I'm wishing you a very wonderful 2024. As always, I do like to note, if you want to go ahead and get a personal reading with me, everybody, you can check out my website, CancerMoonsTarot.com. First link in the description below. But Taurians, have a wonderful 2024. Wishing you all the best, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Much love, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.